After over 20 years of professional photography, I've seen a lot of gear come and go. And I'm not talking about like camera gear. I'm talking about things I use every single day as a photographer to get my work done or to just like enjoy the creative process a little more. Today, I'm going to show you 5 things that have lasted this entire time in some form or fashion. We're not talking about things that I've had for 20 years, but like systems or things that I've been using for 20 years now that have just made getting this kind of work done just a little more efficient and a little more enjoyable. And one quick disclaimer, I do have and I like nice things. So I've got some stuff that matters to me, things that are nice, like my cameras and some of my bags. But then there's that stuff that like, it doesn't have to be super nice to like last a long time, or maybe I'm not looking for it to last a long time, and I'm okay having some cheap stuff. And most of the stuff that we're gonna talk about today is cheap stuff. Okay guys, the first thing is a system, not just a single product. The first thing in this system are these little to-do cards. You can get a massive stack of these for $14. Let me tell you how I use these. Now, I live in a world that has a digital to-do list, which has a lot of things on it in a lot of categories, but those are not things that I need to do every single day. I used to get overwhelmed pulling that digital to-do list up and trying to decipher, like what is important for today. And then the other problem with digital to-do list is that it's easy to put it in the background. Like if I'm working full screen on something else, I don't see that digital to-do list anymore. Some workarounds there, I could have multiple screens running, which I've been through seasons where I've done that, but here's where I'm at today and where I've honestly been for a very long time. I have always really loved handwritten to-do lists that only affect you for today. So these to-do lists, they're inexpensive, and what I typically will do is I will write down something like, make this video. Maybe add some sub things like set up camera, turn on lights. And you get the point. When you have something that is in front of you and you can just throw it on the desk and just have it on your desk all day with the goal of throwing it away at the end of the day, it just makes working like more focused for me. So my goal every day is to throw this card in the trash. Only put on this card what is necessary. And at the end of the day, if this card does not make it in the trash, then I did not do my job for the day. Now, I did say this is a system, so let's talk about the rest of the system. I have tried a lot of different notebooks over the years, different sizes, the big ones, like the really big ones, the mid-sized ones, the small ones, and these are the paper pocket ones, and this is where I've landed for many, many reasons. But simply enough, they are inexpensive. So you can get 3 moleskins in this form for $14. You can get different colors. My favorite color here, green, is what I use. Now the goal here is to write down things that I don't want to throw away at the end of the day. So maybe like bigger projects, things that I'm working on, especially things that have sub points that I might not get to in a single day. And I'm not talking like just to-do list. It's also just like notes on things that I'm working on. Like when I'm developing a new preset or product for Very Good, I have notebooks filled with notes, sub points, things that need to happen to make that thing come to life. And that's just one quick and easy example, but these are inexpensive. They fit in any bag, backpack, pouch, pocket. They're just super easy to use. And again, they're cheap. So again, the goal, throw this away at the end of the day. Don't throw this away at the end of the day and use it tomorrow. Now to wrap this system up, I have 2 more quick things and then we're gonna move on. Let's talk about a pen for a minute. I have never had a nice pen. Like that just was never a priority of mine to like buy expensive pens. And this pen was sent to me by Nomad back when I used to shoot for Nomad. In fact, you can still see me as one of their like featured photographers on their website. I did a lot of photography for them like 5 even more years ago. But in 2020, they gave me this pen and I've been using it since. And if I ever lost it, I would replace it. And it's not like just because this is some like fancy pen, it's really not that expensive compared to other pens that are on the market. It's heavy. And there's something about writing with a heavy pen that just feels good. And I don't know, like it makes my handwriting better. I can't explain it. Light pens, I tend to scratch really fast. This heavy pen, I tend to write bigger and slower. I have a link to this pen. It's probably not like gonna be like one of the top 100 pens of all time, but it is heavy, it does feel nice, and Nomad is a fantastic company based out of Santa Barbara. You've probably heard of them, or at least maybe somewhat aware of their products. There's a link below, check out this pen. So I make those notes on the card or in the notebook with the pen, and then I use a highlighter. That's right, a highlighter, which you can get a whole pack of these for $6, a Sharpie, name brand highlighter. I don't check things off the box because I don't notice that when I glance and I don't feel the progress being made in that. Instead, I take a highlighter and I set up the camera, turn on the lights. I just put a streak of color through them so I know that that has been done and I can move on. So at the very end of the day, this should be a nice, colorful card that goes right into my trash can. Now, as somebody that works from home, like this is my home office, my home studio, and this is where I spend every day of the week. And there was a time where I had creative space that I went to coffee shops and all that, and I would bring a backpack or a messenger bag, and in there I would have different things that I need for the day. Today, I sometimes go out, or like I go out to a lot of shoots and do photography out of this area here, so I am out often. Because of that, I do need to take some things with me. Sometimes it's chargers or like cables for small things or small tools, pens, notepads, these to-do lists. If I'm working at like a coffee shop at another desk, I just have the to-do list. It still goes down right in front of me on the desk or table. And I used to carry this Peak Design tech pouch. This would live in my backpack, and it's big, and it holds a lot of stuff. It's also $60, and I've had this thing, I wanna say since like 2018 or 2019. It is fantastic, I have no complaints about it, but it's so huge. It has so many compartments that I just have gotten lost in this thing, or I overfill it with things that I don't need because, I'm like, oh, there's still room, there's still room, there's still room. So because of that, I've moved away from a big tech pouch to something like this. This is a really small, like military surplus style tech pouch. And it's not even a tech pouch. I'm just calling it a tech pouch. I don't actually know what it's called, but this thing is $20. And what I put in here are the things from the system I just described. I'll take these notebooks and I'll slide them in the slot. I'll take the to-do list cards, get a nice stack of these guys here. I'll slide them in the slot. I'll put the pens in the slots here and the highlighter. I even keep my Apple Pencil in here because I don't like it writing on the iPad. On this other pocket, I just have cables I might need when I'm out and about, like a USB-C to SD card reader, charging cables, Thunderbolt cables, all those things. I can even throw like a power block or two in here, and I'm good to go. And again, guys, $20. The California patch not included. That's my patch. I put that on there. But I don't really even take like a dedicated work bag anymore. I just throw this into whatever I'm carrying. Maybe it's a camera bag, or maybe I'm just freehanding this in the car or something. Super easy and $20. Can't beat it. Now, as somebody that is working primarily with Leica cameras, I'm not tinkering too much with the tools. I'm not putting things like rigging these cameras out. I'm literally just switching lenses, and that's about it. But what you guys don't really ever notice about this channel or see much is the video work that I do that creates everything that you get to experience on YouTube, and also for some other people that I like to do video stuff with. As an example, this is like a 2/3 video rig right here. Like the battery's not on it, the monitor's not on it because I'm using the monitor right here. This is an A7R5 rigged up for video work with an anamorphic. It's got a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's obviously big and has a lot of parts. If you are ever rigging things out and you need to work on stuff, and I do it every single week, a super inexpensive thing to have is just a little photographer's multi-tool. This one is by SmallRig. It is $30. It basically has everything that I need to put camera gear together, from screwdrivers to Allen wrenches. It has everything, and it's so small that it easily goes in my little pouch here, and I can take it with me anywhere that I go, or just even stick it in my pocket if I'm just going out, for the day. I'm on a shoot and I just need to tighten something down, and that does happen often. I think every photographer needs a little multi-tool. There's definitely ones that are bigger than this, that have way more tools, but I have really never needed something that isn't in this little multi-tool here. So I can't recommend it enough. $30 and hook up this little multi-tool. been talking about everyday carry things that I have on me everywhere that I go. And now it's time to talk about something that is always in the car with me everywhere that I go. And that is this SidioCrate. These crates come in different sizes, different colors. They can have a lid or not. I have like the most basic crate. It has 2 dividers. I use it literally as you're seeing it right now. Like, this doesn't easily go in a bag. So I'm not really like able to throw this in a backpack or a camera bag, but what I can do is just stick it down in this crate and put this crate in my car. In fact, this crate lives in my trunk. It's always in the back of my car. It's not always full of stuff, but it's always there, so I can just put things quickly in and out. And I'll show you what I do with this. I've preset these dividers at slot 40 and 19, which give me 3 spaces in here, and I put foam in the bottom. And this crate becomes a catch-all for anything that I need to throw in the car and transport from point A to point B. And then if I'm going into a spot to do a shoot, I can even just carry the crate. It's really easy to manage it. And the best part about this crate, it's 36 bucks. It's not a Pelican case that's gonna cost you hundreds. Having that in the trunk, basically anytime that I need to throw gear in my car, it's just worth it. It's worth $36. And if you're going anywhere, even like a small camera bag, I just throw that, like when my Leica is in a small bag, I throw the bag in this to get it from point A to point B. Again, guys, it's just a crate, but it is part of like my everyday life as a photographer. All right, so we've been keeping things on the low end of the budget. We've talked about the little system I have, the like $14 cards and notebooks, and the pen and the highlighter. We've talked about the tech pouch, which is 20 bucks, the SmallRig multi-tool, which is $30, the crate, which is 36. Now we're gonna kick it up for this last item. This is something that I feel like every person needs to have. Male, female, doesn't matter. Everybody should carry a knife. And like, not just a knife that's gonna be sharp and easy to use and safe. I have had this knife for several years. This is a James brand Carter knife. It is not a super expensive one. I know knives can get crazy. This one is like 150 bucks. My wonderful mother got me this for Christmas several years ago. The back clip paint is worn off because I have it in my pocket clipped in every single day. The blade is covered in adhesive because I use it to open boxes. It is a great knife. And again, I think everybody should have one. I buy this knife for friends as gifts because I like it that much. And it's also my favorite color. Again, everybody should have a knife, but it should be a knife that represents you. This knife goes well with my aesthetic. Being a photographer is about balancing not just making images and the gear that we use and, you know, just the act of photography, but there's also the workflow. It's sitting at the desk. It's the creative, like inspirational moments where you're writing down notes to yourself or you're like researching something you're going to do. It's culling and editing and delivering things to clients. And if you don't have clients, totally fine, but you deliver things to yourself like you're the client, so you do the work for your own images. And for that reason, you've got these systems, and I hope the things that I talked about today, these inexpensive things that just might make your life a little easier, they are all gonna be linked below, and if they add some value to you, be sure to let me know in the comments. I hope you found this video helpful and inspirational on your own personal journey, and if you did, be sure to give it a like, and if you are not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.